Built over a millennium ago, Hagia Sophia has been a silent witness to the ebb and flow of empires, a testament to human inequity and faith, which is settled in Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul. But behind its towering domes and ornate mosaics lies a story that transcends mere stone and mortar that dates back more than a millennium. With unfolding prophecies that are currently taking place, the significance of Hagia Sophia is not something to overlook. After Jesus Christ was crucified, the apostles carried his word in secrecy since Christianity at the time was considered illegal and could not be openly worshipped or discussed in the Roman Empire. This led to the use of what we know it as today, the Jesus fish. It would typically include the Greek word ichthys, which meant fish in Greek. Each letter of the word secretly stood for the phrase Isus Christos Theou Ios Sotir. This translated to Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. The symbol would be used among Christians to signify that it is safe to discuss their faith. It would be placed outside of homes, but it was also a method to see if a stranger was also a Christian. A Christian would casually draw one arc of the symbol in the sand, and if a stranger recognized and finished the symbol, it meant that they were also a Christian and that it was safe to discuss Christianity. An early turning point in Christianity was the intervention of the first Christian Roman emperor, Constantine the Great, and his decision to seize the persecution of Christians. This created a time known as the Constantinian shift during the early 4th century, which played a major role in spreading Christianity towards the East. Constantine the Great led many people to the East and settled in an ancient Greek city called Byzantium, declaring it as the new capital of the Roman Empire, Nova Roma, otherwise known as New Rome, in 324 AD. It was soon after renamed as Constantinople in 330 AD. This led to the evidential fall of the Western Roman Empire, or the Roman Empire in its entirety, which set to the start of the Byzantine Empire, which lasted for over 1,000 years. Constantine the Great, as well as his mother Ellen, were known for finding the cross that Jesus was crucified on, which they were later ordained as saints. Hagia Sophia had been conquered, destroyed, and rebuilt many times. The church was first built in 360 AD as ordered by the Byzantine Emperor Constantine II, the son of Constantine the Great. The first Hagia Sophia was smaller than what it is today and featured a wooden roof. It was burnt down during riots regarding political conflicts because of the disagreements between Emperor Arcadius, his wife Empress of Doxia, and Saint John Chrysostom, who was the Archbishop of Constantinople in 404 AD. Its reconstruction was completed in 415 AD with 5 naves and a monumental entrance with a wooden roof again. In 532 AD, it was once again burnt down during Nika revolts against Emperor Justinian I. The fire caused so much damage that the church was demolished and was finally rebuilt in 537 AD in its current design that we know today by Emperor Justinian. The church was dedicated to Eastern Orthodoxy up until 1204, where it was then conquered and converted to a Catholic church following the Fourth Crusade. It was later reclaimed in 1261 and remained Eastern Orthodox up until 1453. The Ottomans had conquered Constantinople and turned Hagia Sophia from the largest church of its time into a mosque up until 1935, which it then became a museum by the Turkish government. Since the takeover in 1453, there has been a great tension between Greece and Turkey. The Ottoman Empire ruled the Balkans and Anatolia from 1453 up to 1821, with the Greek Orthodox citizens being considered as inferior. With the help of many Greek fighters and patriots, Greece fought back and gained their independence in 1821. For the next 100 years, Greek citizens remained in parts of Turkey, and during World War I, the Western Allies, especially the British, had pledged territorial expansion of Greece, which would come at the cost of the recently defeated Ottoman Empire after World War I. Anatolia, once belonging to ancient Greece and the Byzantine Empire, fell under Turkish control during the 12th to the 15th century. The Turks were able to push back the Greeks and were ultimately stopped during the Battle of Sangarius, as well as the Great Fire of Smyrna. As a result, the Greek and Turkish governments agreed to a population exchange amongst one another. Saint Paisios the Athonite was a modern-day saint of reverence and foresight in Greek Orthodoxy, who lived in Mount Athos as a simple monk and passed away in 1994. Many people would visit him when they sought spiritual, physical, and mental guidance. He attained many gifts from God. He was someone who knew you by name and all the questions that you had for him before you even had a chance to introduce yourself. He had written and spoken about many prophecies in great detail, and all of the ones he has revealed have come true. To get a better understanding of the prophecies of Saint Paisios, he accurately predicted Brexit and that Great Britain would leave the European Union. He stated that new ID cards will be required for Greek citizens, which he advised not to get, and Greece will go through financial hardships. Saint Paisios also stated that the Soviet Union will collapse first, then Romania, then Yugoslavia will be divided in separate states. This happened 10 years later in 1991. He even stated that a manufactured pandemic would occur where many people would be forced to take a vaccine or liberties would be taken away. At the same time of that pandemic, Hagia Sophia would be converted back to a mosque. The saint mentioned that when the mayor of Istanbul, back from the early 90s, would become president of Turkey, he will keep the tension low between Greece. The mayor of Istanbul, who is now president of Turkey, Erdogan, turned Hagia Sophia into a mosque once again on July 24, 2020, just under 6 months after the COVID pandemic was announced. This is the exceptional accuracy that Saint Paisios' prophecies have provided. Remember, these predictions were given well over 30 years ago. Now, Saint Cosmas the Aetolian was a monk that lived during the 1700s, who also had similar gifts from God and was able to prophesy things to come. He said that there will be carriages without horses running faster than a rabbit. People will speak from distant places as if they are in a different room, and men flying and throwing fire on the earth. Saint Paisios interpreted and expanded on a very concerning prophecy from Saint Cosmas that many Orthodox Christians have been keeping an eye on. Saint Cosmas talked about the examilla, which Saint Paisios clarified that the term examilla was referring to the 6 nautical miles of the territorial sea. Using the term territorial waters and the 6 nautical miles together did not make sense at the time when Saint Cosmas tried to explain it, because it had not come to fruition yet. Later on, Greece had created a territory around its mainland and all islands that expanded out to the sea by 6 nautical miles. This created more tension between Greece and Turkey, since the territory of some of the islands of Greece would push towards Turkey. Saint Paisios also predicted that the tension would begin to drastically rise between Greece and Turkey after the Turkish president is removed from power and replaced. The next Turkish leader would come for Greece within a month. A war will begin between Greece and Turkey when the Turks approach the 6 nautical miles of Greece. The saint stated that Turkey will hit the islands of Rhodes, Chios, and Castellorizo. Back in March of 2022, Turkey announced that they closed off the Dardanelles and Bosphorus Straits to warships during the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The prophecy states that Russia will then attack Turkey so they can pass through, assuming to provide additional support to Iran, as recent news suggests. After the attack, the Turks will leave Greece as well as Cyprus to defend their mainland. However, there will be a great famine in Greece that will last about 6 months. As described in Saint Paisios' prophecy, parts of Turkey that were once Greece will be given back, including Constantinople and Hagia Sophia. This is said to occur on the year when Orthodox Easter falls on the 5th of May. This aligns with the direct quote from Saint Paisios when the Turks close the straits, World War III will come. It's not necessarily indicating that this one act will cause it, but it is yet another sign during these times to look out for. The saint stated, after the challenge of the Turks, the Russians will descend to the straits, not to help us. They will have other interests, but without wanting to, they will help us. Then, in order to defend the straits, which are of strategic importance, the Turks will gather other troops there. At the same time, they will withdraw forces from occupied territories. But then, the other European countries, namely Britain, France, Italy, and 6 or 7 other EU countries, will see that Russia will seize parts. So, they will say, perhaps we should go over there too, and get a piece for ourselves. Everyone, however, will chase the lion's portion. This is how the Europeans will enter the war. The Greek government will decide not to send an army into Turkey. It will keep an army only at the border, and it will be a great blessing that he will not take part. So, will we be seeing such a prophecy unfold here in the near future, given all the current events unfolding and the previous accuracy of these saints? With multiple wars and tensions building up, are we on the verge of a third world war? Some would argue we are, and it's not just being labeled that way. Even if you live outside of the geographical areas where these occurrences are taking place, or even if you don't believe in saints or prophecies, it's important that you still keep up with these situations as they seem to be gaining momentum every day. Could we truly see Hagia Sophia become an Orthodox church again? From the wise words of St. Paisios, we will reach a point where the news will be updating so fast that we will be witnessing things before they are broadcasted. Only time will tell. Stay alert, do not be afraid, and be prepared to defend your faith, freedom, and family.